been connected to both.
What was the evidence of cocaine in mummies? Was that bullshit?
I'm not sure about that. It's one of the things that every time I look into it, the data is kind of threadbare, and as a skeptical guy and a guy who's had his share of time in bars and bathrooms, I have a much stronger feeling that there was some anthropologist in the 70s who was just doing a fucking bump. I'm sorry. That's smoking a cigarette and doing a bump on the sarcophagus is way more likely than, that's just to me, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and if you're doing coke, you might want to put a little coke on the mummy. I'm going to do a coke off this fucking
fuck
mummy's
yeah.
nose.
Do a bump right off this mummy's nose,
If you're
blow some
coked
smoke
out of
in
your
his
mind,
face.
and you're doing archaeology, and it's the 70s,
Oh,
and
fuck.
no one is like looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You're a wild fucking Indiana Jones type cokehead.
Fuck, there's already people with their AI fucking artwork out trying to make this.
For sure.
God
What
damn.
was the evidence? See if you can find what the evidence for cocaine in Egyptian mummies was.
The Russian scientist that said he found some in 1992, 90s.
Look, I found coke. He's like, he's doing blow. He's doing blow. They bust him. I found cocaine.
It was in the mummy. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not mine.
Traces
Definitely
of
not my cocaine.
cocaine, hashish, and nicotine in the hair of Henut Tawi.
Well,
Cocaine, hashish,
Nicotine.
and nicotine.
okay. German toxicologist Svetlana Balabanova discovered traces of cocaine, hashish, and nicotine on Henut Toy. How do you say that? Henut Toys? How do you say his name?
Henut Tawi?
Tawi's
I
hair.
don't know.
As well as in the hair of several other mummies of the museum, which is significant in that the only source for cocaine and nicotine had at that time been considered to be the cocoa and tobacco plants native to the Americas, and were not thought to have been present in Africa until after Columbus voyaged to the Americas. The result was interpreted by theorists and supporters of contacts between pre-Columbian people and ancient Egyptians as a proof for their claims. The findings are controversial because while other researchers have also detected the presence of cocaine and nicotine in Egyptian mummies, two successive analyses of the other groups of Egyptian mummies and human remains failed to fully reproduce Balabanova's results, and some showing positive results only for nicotine. But even that is interesting, right?
Well, yeah. And then the next line actually basically says what I just did. After these experiments, even assuming that cocaine was actually found on the mummies, it is possible that this could be contamination.
Yeah,
which
it
occurred.
says that. It says that even assuming that cocaine was actually found in the mummies, it could be contamination which occurred after the discovery of the mummies. The same argument could be applied to nicotine, but in addition, various plants other than tobacco are a source of nicotine, and two of these, Withenia somnifera and Apium graveolens, were known to be used by the ancient Egyptians. Okay, so they did have some sort of nicotine plant.
That was 92. 2007, researchers in Peru may have also found some.
Ooh, in Incan mummies. But Incan mummies that's
there.
yeah,
But
that's where cocaine is.
If it was actual cocaine, that would be crazy. If it was not just coca plant, but actual like
a little
processed-
baggie for the future for your travels.
Come aliens, please come back.
He's got a little vial they tucked away with him in his grave.
We've done everything we could to get them aliens back. We're going to process some of that shit. Come on, boys.
It would be fascinating if we actually could prove that somehow or another people from South America had made their way to Egypt and back and forth. And another interesting argument for that was always the Olmecs. Like, what they look Polynesian or African.
Mm-hmm.
They don't necessarily look like they're from South America.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the arguments that were made by those guys I brought up earlier that were back in the 1860s. They were, one of them was big into linguists and linguistics, and he made all these language models and stuff as to why that Maya was the first or proto-language that was all these other ones were built on. The other dude was really into iconography. I'm sure you've seen some of the symbols that like you see around the world, like that girl that's sitting on the lions and the Master of Beast symbols. Yeah. Things like that it's not, these aren't.
Get Jamie to pull that up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, look up Master of Beasts. Yeah,
You're gonna find some cartoon.
Yeah, I stumbled across something that says that they did more testing that says that there might have been cocaine in up to 8 bodies.
Ooh, whoa.
They did multiple testing.
Yeah, if you're living in Egypt, you're gonna get some coke if you've got that kind of cheddar. You know what I mean? If you got like gold headdresses, and what's the ultimate thing to have? Coke. You know?
Clearly.
Yeah,
I mean,
clearly.
You're trying to get more women's,
If
right?
you got some guy who's coming over from South America, he's
Yeah,
bringing
so
coke
It
with
says
him.
they did. In the wake of controversy, they used radio immunoassay gas chromatography and mass spectrometry. And all of those got the same
nice.
results. All bone, soft tissue, and hair contained traces of the drug, ruling out possibility of external
Oh,
contamination.
okay. So they did have cocaine. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, there you go. Now you got some weird
I
shit.
still don't know if it's
Yeah.
accurate, though.
I gotta
Right.
look into this. 'Cause,
Let's
yeah.
just slam the book and say it's accurate, Jamie. For the sake of
Master
arguing.
of Beasts.
Yeah,
Yeah, Master of Beasts. If you look up like ancient symbol, or hopefully that'll bring it up. I forget.
Isn't that He-Man? Something like that.
Master of Universe. I have the power. God damn, we're getting old today with the references. Sorry,
Yeah,
young guys.
we are.
Sorry.
Gerald Ford and He-Man.